the pinnacle of strength. On January 4th, 2020, IWGP Intercontinental and Heavyweight Championship matches see four men start a historic double gold dash, while Hiromu Takahashi and Will Ospreay push the limits of human athleticism in a bid to steal the show of shows, the birthplace of legend.
Hiromu is back!
On January 5th, as Jushin Thunder Liger ends his legacy when he wrestles for the final time. Chris Jericho and Hiroshi Tanahashi will battle to extend their own.
Wait a minute, Tanahashi! Tanahashi! Chris Jericho is the greatest of all time.
The Painmaker versus the Ace. It's going to be a classic match. It's also going to be your last match, Tana.
And in a historic main event, one will lead New Japan Pro Wrestling to new untold heights. Tetsuya Naito, J1, Kota Ibushi, and Kazuchika Okada, who will leave with all the gold and all the power. In a two-night spectacular, it's Wrestle Kingdom 14.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Tiger Driver Radio. This is your main man, JP, alongside
Juicy J. What up, homie?
Oh man, I am actually not feeling well today.
You look so bad.
Yeah, like I've had a fever all day. I feel better now, but I'm still kind of like under the weather. It's like I'm worn down, dude. I am so worn down.
Yeah.
But speaking of wearing down, man, the year is wearing down. The tag league is officially over. We are going to be entering the road to Wrestle Kingdom very shortly here.
Mm-hmm.
The card to Wrestle Kingdom is getting pretty much established at this point.
Yeah.
You might have maybe a onesie and twosie here and there, but I think you and I called it. We kind of predicted that the tag league would end the way that it did. A couple of surprises during the past week and a half of World Tag League.
Mm-hmm.
I can't lie to you. There was a couple of awesome moments in World Tag League, but for the most part, it wasn't great. A little lackluster. Last year's was much better.
It was really hard to watch sometimes. It dragged a little bit.
Yeah, there was a couple of times where it did drag a little bit, but then there was also a lot of things that were getting built up currently. Like I'm really excited to see the fact that even though Sonata and Evil did not win World Tag League, it's really cool to see that Sonata is still going for a singles title as he's going to challenge for the Rev Pro title against Zack Sabre Jr., I believe, on night 1. And I'm ecstatic. I just want to see him actually have some sort of single success.
Yeah.
And with that being said, like I said, that was really just really exciting to see is the fact that as much as I'm not a big fan of FinJuice as a whole, I'm not going to lie to you, FinJuice going against GOD.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, it was good. I was actually a little surprised. Yeah. So who's to say that they're not going to even turn it up to 11 come Wrestle Kingdom, which I'm super stoked about. So like I said, everything's kind of, I would have personally have booked things a little differently, but that's why I'm a fan and not working for New Japan Pro Wrestling, man. But anyway, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. How are you, man? Before we continue.
I'm awesome, man. I just getting ready for Christmas. I need to do a little bit more shopping, or maybe I should say a lot of shopping because I haven't really started.
Oh, dude, I know.
But yeah, that's what I've got going on.
What about everyone else out there, man? Has everyone out there finished their Christmas shopping just yet, or no? Anybody out there?
Let us know.
Let us know.
We are on Podbean Live. We go on Podbean Live every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Time on Podbean. Interact with us, man. We would love to have you. Yeah, but that's what I got going on. Just Christmas presents. And I don't know what I'm gonna get you. I'm just gonna get you a Yoshihashi, some gear, Yoshihashi gear.
Oh, God, if you do that, I'll be so mad. I'll be so effing mad.
You don't like it?
No, still a work in process. Who's that talking to us right now?
That's Blue. That's Arnold.
What's up, man?
Our buddy Blue.
What's going on, Arnold? Yeah, nope, still a worker. Dude, I'm telling you, Christmas shopping is a big pain in the ass. I always do this. I'm like, I'm going to do it like 2 months ahead of time. It's going to be fine. It never fucking is.
Yeah.
It never is. I'm still panicking about what am I going to buy, a certain lady friend.
Mhm.
What am I going to buy my mom? What about my dad? I mean, there's certain things I have already that I'm like, okay, like I'll hook my mom up this year. Like she's going to like what I got her.
Uh-huh.
But like at this point, both my parents have everything. So what do I get my parents? Like I have no idea what to get them. I don't know. So we'll have to wait
It's
and
gonna be
see.
a hard choice. Get them. I don't know. Get them something of those. I don't know if you've seen on Facebook. They have this gimmick that it's a book on it. But you know what? Never mind. Scratch that. Because I was gonna say it's more for like a significant other.
Well,
you
parents
made
are
it-
significant other, right?
No, but you make a book of like it's to show somebody how much you care for them. Like even in a relationship, it's a cartoon. It makes a cartoon book of everything you've been through.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, you could still technically
Yeah.
do that for your parents. Technically,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's you gotta show me that website later, man. That might be kind of cool.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
So maybe that's a little gimmicky.
All I know is that there's 4 or 5 things that I want.
Yeah.
5 things that I want for Christmas.
Uh-huh.
I want a ring scale. I want an actual ring for action figures.
Mhm.
And I haven't had one since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I
Any
want
ring?
Yeah. No,
Any
not any
ring?
ring. I want one of those ones from wrestlingfigures.com, like
Yeah.
those nice ones
Yeah.
that are like to scale with the replica buckles and everything
Uh-huh.
and like the ring skirts.
Yeah.
I want one of those nice ones. That's what I want. I want that. I want a washing machine. I'm tired of doing laundry in other places.
Uh-huh.
I'm over it. I'm in the market for a new Apple computer.
Yeah.
I want tickets to go see AEW in Austin.
Oh yeah.
And I just want a big booty hoe. I'm working on that though.
Oh, man.
So maybe that's something I can take off my list and put something else as number 5. But yeah, big booty hoe.
All
Well,
right.
you know that 2 Chainz song, right? It's like all I
Yeah.
want for my birthday is a big booty hoe. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I want. So fans, if you know any big booty hoes, you bring them here
Uh-huh.
to San Antonio, Texas, 78251. That is the zip code of where I live. We don't bring it to Jerry's house. It's a family establishment.
Yeah.
I have a bachelor pad. It's different. But that's what I want for Christmas, man. What about you?
For Christmas, I want a some tech, I don't know, something gimmicky like a
Like a GoPro?
GoPro, something. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I usually get all that tech stuff for Christmas. See what I get for myself, because nobody loves me. See what happens.
Wait, so hold on. Like, let me ask you something. Like, and be real with me. And if you
Yeah.
can't talk about it because you'll get in trouble, then we don't have to talk about it.
Yeah.
But do you often find yourself buying yourself the gifts that you want?
Yeah, usually.
Really?
Well, most of the time. I mean, my wife knows me pretty good, so usually when
She's pretty on point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but most of the time, it's getting it for myself, and I mean, I don't mind that.
I mean, that's okay. It's just like,
Yeah.
it is kind of nice once in a while when someone else actually surprises you and they get you something rad.
Yeah.
Where you're like, whoa, like I just got this like cool thing or whatever. Like, what did my dad get me? Like, what was it? I mean, he got me an awesome laptop. I did not expect a laptop. I didn't even need a laptop.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, he got me a laptop, which is dope. But yeah. But anyway, man, we're getting way sidetracked. I didn't want to go too far into the New Japan news. Like I said, I'm just really excited for Wrestle Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Super excited for the season. Like I said, we are like 4.5 weeks away.
Yeah. So let's get going on this New Japan news first.
Absolutely.
I love that Thunder Liger theme.
God, I've been listening to that theme song since like, well, the first time I ever saw Jushin Thunder Liger in my life.
Yeah.
was, I believe, WCW Saturday Night,
Uh-huh.
and it was Flying Brian Pillman against Liger for the WCW light heavyweight title. This is 92, maybe 93.
Mm-hmm.
This is before, because I know they were also the debut match on Monday Nitro when they had the Monday Nitro at the Mall of America.
Yeah.
That the debut match was Liger versus Brian Pillman, but I saw them before that on WCW Saturday Night or something. And I just remember thinking, like, who is this guy? Because I used to love like lucha libre, so I loved Mira Mascaras, and stuff like that. And like, I didn't know like who this guy was, and I'm like, Thunder Liger, like he's from Japan, and he's doing like the shooting star press and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, this guy's awesome. And after that, I didn't really see him for a long time because I was only a little kid. Then I saw him again on Nitro, and around that same time.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw him several years later on Nitro, I was already like 11, 12, 13. So I was already getting kind of fascinated by tape trading because I'll read PWI Insider.
Yeah.
And then I started watching like the legendary 1995 Super J Cup with Chris Jericho, Rey Mysterio, the Great Sasuke, the Ultimo Dragon, Pegasus Kid, Chris Benoit.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was such a legendary year for the Super J Cup. And since that point, like 95, I have been a fan of Thunder Liger, and it blows my mind that I've been watching him since now 12 years. I was 12 years old, 11 years old when the first time I saw him.
Yeah.
Let's say 11 years old. And then now fast forward to 25 years of my life. I've been watching Liger wrestle, and it's coming to an end.
Yeah, it sucks, man.
That I
You know what? I'm going to turn it up again.
let it play for a little while.
Yeah, so we can all cry. He's leaving.
I'm probably gonna cry.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna cry.
That's a long history that you had with watching Liger, man.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I said, I mean, I have been a fan of Japanese wrestling for a long time.
Yeah.
Primarily because of WCW. But like I said, this past week, he has announced that his final match, after being issued a friendly challenge by Dragon Lee,
Mm-hmm.
we already knew that he was going to have a mega all-star tag team match, kind of like a career retrospective, where he's going to be teaming with Shinjiro Otani. He's going to be teaming with Tiger Mask, also the Great Sasuke.
Yeah.
And of course, he's going to be facing off against other people from, throughout various points in his career.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really excited to see that like all-star tag match, Matter of fact, let's even pull it up right now, man. Let's see what the card's looking like.
The first night of Wrestle Kingdom.
First night of Wrestle Kingdom. Yeah, exactly. So it's like Tiger Mask, the Great Sasuke, Tatsumi Fujinami, which a legend in itself, and Liger against Ryusuke Taguchi, Tatsuhito Kawai, Shinjiro Otani, and Naoki Sano. And Naoki Sano is a legendary figure in Jushin Liger's early career because, in fact, they were a tag team in the early 90s. Yeah. Otani has had ridiculous amounts of matches in the 90s and early 2000s. And in fact, most recently had an amazing match with Jonathan Gresham last year at WrestleMania weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And that was an awesome match. Like for a guy who's currently Otani is wrestling in All Japan Pro Wrestling and 01 Pro Wrestling. But if you really go back and watch Shinjiro Otani against Eddie Guerrero or Shinjiro Otani against Benoit in New Japan Pro Wrestling or his matches against Liger or Kendo Kashin, Otani was the man back then. He still is the man. I mean, but he wrestles a lot more of a slower conservative style, but he can still go.
Yeah, they look mean. They look like mean guys.
I mean, if I think about this a lot. Like if you look back at like what New Japan or not even New Japan, Japanese wrestlers look like back then compared to now, the archetype, just like I feel like it's changed in America, has changed in Japan as well. Yeah. Like back then in Japan, like you could look like a burly, kind of strong, solid guy, and that would be your champion. I mean, if you look back at past champions, you look at Hiroshi Tenzan. I mean, the guy's a barrel-chested big guy, and then or Kensuke Sasuke, or a guy who's big and tall like Masahiro Chono. Uh-huh. But the thing is, nowadays you see Okada, who's tall, but he has this boyish good looks, or Kota Ibushi, who's a little bit smaller than Okada, but is athletic as all hell, or Tanahashi, who is kind of like the in between, like he has the boyish good looks and the beautiful long hair, but he's super muscular, but can move very well for a guy his size.
Yeah.
And I just feel like the archetype of Japanese wrestling has changed. So I just think that match, that retirement match of Liger, and pretty much it's that if you look at everybody on both sides of both teams, it's pretty much a summation of
like his career,
of his career, of people that were important in his career, including El Samurai, including Kuniaki Kobayashi. I am a little shocked that that he was not able to convince El Samurai to wrestle, because him and El Samurai were a great tag team in the 90s as well.
Uh-huh.
El Samurai's like, no, I'm sorry, like I'm done, like I'm not gonna wrestle. And I'm surprised to not see Kendo Kashin. I'm surprised that I'm also surprised to not see there's a few other people I'm surprised that Liger did not choose.
Yeah.
But
I think that's something like Arnold was saying here on Podbean, that he was a little disappointed. He's talking about the other match,
okay,
the second one.
And then also got announced that when Liger had his last match in his hometown of Hiroshima, Dragon Lee, Ryu Lee, that he's going by now, which is still Dragon in Japanese.
Yeah.
Basically had like this congratulatory video come up on the screen saying, we all admire you. We're just, your influence is undeniable, but I gotta have one last match with you.
Uh-huh.
And then Liger's like, okay, I guess that's a challenge, but then I want to add something else to it. I also want Hiromu to come back. And if that means both of you against me, fine.
Yeah.
And then later on backstage, he announced that Naoko Sano would probably more than likely be the guy to tag team with him against Dragon Lee and Hiromu, what he feels is the future of the junior heavyweight division. I'm surprised that he didn't ask Ospreay, but then Ospreay, maybe he didn't want to ask Ospreay because maybe he doesn't have that kind of relationship with Will Ospreay. And Ospreay has also teased a lot of times that he is eventually going to be on his way out of being a junior heavyweight and wants to be a bona fide heavyweight.
Mm-hmm. So he didn't want to pass the torch to somebody that's not going to be.
It's not going to be there. I mean, but then again, it is kind of ironic. I mean, I don't know the logic. Only Liger knows his logic, but it is kind of funny because at the same time, Liger has competed in several G1 climaxes. He's had world title shots, even though he's come short. He's wrestled as Battle Liger to battle against, heavyweights, and he's done very, mixed results as a heavyweight. Yeah. But I was a little disappointed by the option. I would have loved to have seen Liger against just one-on-one one more time with Dragon Lee or Hiromu Takahashi, or maybe Liger against anybody else from his past. I just want to see
again.
I thought maybe we'll have one final match against Suzuki. Maybe that'll be a send-off. I don't know. Yeah. Koji Kanemoto. That is the other wrestler in the junior heavyweights from the 90s. Koji Kanemoto was a big striker. In my opinion, one of my favorite matches is Koji Kanemoto against Thunder Liger in the J Cup finals in 1998, 99. Yeah. I'm surprised Koji Kanemoto is nowhere to be found. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. But I mean, I'm not complaining. I mean, like I said, I am glad to see all these guys. Of course, a lot of you guys have seen the great Sasuke wrestle, for Joey Janela's Spring Break. Mm-hmm. And of course for Freedoms, which, GCW has a working agreement with Freedoms, which we'll talk about later. More news there.
Yeah.
But I'm excited, and it's just, I don't mean to keep going on and on about it. It's just Jushin Thunder Liger's influence is unsurpassable. You cannot deny his influence has been felt for generations at this point. For generations at this point. Like, you watch any wrestler nowadays, what move have they not taken from Liger? Mm-hmm. His style, the way he moves. Liger has basically defined what smaller wrestlers and lightweight wrestlers can be.
Yeah.
And they can be versatile performers.
Yeah, and I think it's also one of those, because the way I feel about it is I'm going to feel like I still want another match from him, and I'm not going to get it anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
But even he said it himself. He's like, I can still go.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to be that guy where I'm become broken down and I can't, get out of bed anymore. It's like, my health is still okay.
Yeah, he's still very healthy. I guess that's why he just wants to.
He's like, I'm still okay. Like, he even said, he's like, I'm still okay. I just think it's time for me to go.
I guess he doesn't want to be like Nakanishi or these people that are kind of like struggling and
like me, I
look really bad.
Like, like I said, I just wish Manabu Nakanishi would just stick to teaching.
Yeah.
Because his knowledge, is, I'm sure, valuable in the dojo, but to see Manabu Nakanishi kind of hobble. Because if you go watch early Manabu Nakanishi from like 98, 99 up into the mid 2000s, guy was quick.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Like he kind of hobbles. He has terrible knees, and I just wish they would stop using them.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me. I'm just really happy to see that Liger is going to. In fact, I'll be honest, as I'm a little bit more excited to see the first night match of that All-Star tag match that he has.
With those people, yeah.
Exactly.
I think I would agree with you.
Yeah, because like I said, it's these are people that are kind of defined his career.
Yeah.
In terms of rivals, friends, people that influenced him.
Mm-hmm.
Tatsumi Fujinami in the Tokyo Dome. I mean, hello, it's 1991 again. You know, I mean, like I said, I remember one of the first times I ever saw Tatsumi Fujinami was at Blockbuster Video. They used to have VHS tapes of wrestling.
Yeah.
And they had this VHS tape of WCW. They did this show in Japan where it was Ric Flair versus Tatsumi Fujinami, IWGP title for the NWA heavyweight title, and Fujinami beat Flair using a sharpshooter. You know, back then Flair didn't tap out, so the fact that he tapped out. So I rented that video. Yeah, I always remember the first time I saw Tatsumi Fujinami. So I'm just super excited about it. But we got to move on. There's so much more to talk about. I know that there's going to be a special 8-man tag where it's LIJ against Suzuki-gun for the first night. Am I correct?
Yeah, for the first night for 9/1. Yeah, January the 4th.
Exactly. And you could definitely tell they're just trying to utilize as many people as they possibly can to fill up some space. However, there's always been a rivalry between both of these factions, so I don't think it'll be fun.
I'm just gonna pause here for a second. Do you think it's weird that Hiromu has not really appeared with LIJ together in a show? Like, do you think he's just gonna separate himself a little bit from them?
I've heard rumblings that that's the plan is to eventually wean him out of a stable and just he's gonna be his own guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Think that's a good idea? Like getting him away from LIJ?
I could see the validity behind it. Yeah. Personally, I think at this point he doesn't need LIJ. Yeah. I don't think he needs LIJ. Mm-hmm. I think Naito needed LIJ, and then now Naito could stand on his own if he wanted.
Yeah.
You know, I think LIJ was the catapult to like get Naito's character over, because for the longest time people completely rejected Naito.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think, you know, LIJ has helped elevate Evil and Sonata and Takagi. I think the only person I feel like needs LIJ is Bushi.
Yeah.
Everyone else I feel like could stand if God forbid any of them got kicked out tomorrow. I think they could stand out on their own.
Yeah.
You know. So, but it'll be a special tag team match between those two. And then there's a third one where it features Bullet Club against Chaos, which has been a lot of back and forth, which, you know, she'll feature Tomohiro Ishii, Hiroki Goto, Toru Yano, Yoshihashi. Why are you on a Wrestle Kingdom card? Against
He did good on World Tag League. He did all right. I mean, him and Ishii were the ones that were kind of the definitive, the ones that they were going to define who was going to be either a three-way tie or who was going to win the World Tag League. And I think he did all right, Yoshihashi.
Yeah, it just says like at the end of the day, like he's just the guy that just can't get the job done.
Yeah.
You know, but like I said, you'll see a special 8-man tag, kind of a bit of a preview between Bullet Club against Chaos, because I know the second night will feature Goto against Kenta.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that a little bit later. And then, of course, the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championships will now be defended. Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga will defend against World Tag League winners David Finlay and Juice Robinson of FinJuice. It was a fairly impressive match. Now, maybe they'll turn it up to 11 and it'll go a little crazy.
Yeah.
Personally, I think the GOD is still going to hold on.
Yeah. And if they do hold on, what's going to happen, the possibility is that either they face Yano and Cabana, or the other team that beat them, which was I can't recall. Oh, Yoshihashi and Ishii.
Yeah, Yoshihashi.
Yeah,
and
so
Ishii.
the
I don't know. Maybe Yoshihashi will actually get, I don't know, some gold in his life.
Yeah. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I like FinJuice, so
I'm okay. They don't suck. I prefer other tag teams. That's all.
Yeah.
You know, and then of course up next, which I think this is inevitable. I think you and I were just waiting for it to happen to get called. Is Lance Archer has been challenged by Jon Moxley to a Texas death match, which means it's a street fight. It's going to be a street fight for the U.S. heavyweight title. And I love that Moxley just came all the way to Japan, DDT'd Suzuki and Archer. Now, granted, I thought he was going to come out and challenge Suzuki for a minute.
Yeah.
I was like, that would have been badass.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm happy with this too. I mean, he said Lance Archer has grown a lot on me since the G1.
Maybe this could branch out to Moxley and Suzuki later.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm really excited at the fact that Lance Archer has gone from just being a tag team guy to now going at it alone. And because of his performance in the G1, they've given him the U.S. title. And now he has his own slated match at Wrestle Kingdom as a singles wrestler. I mean, very good job. He has done amazing work to try to elevate himself to no longer being limited by just tag team wrestling.
Yeah. And the match that we got next, the sixth match on night one on January 4th is Will Ospreay versus Hiromu Takahashi.
Which is probably going to define physics.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a daredevil show, and I'm scared for both of their health.
Yeah, which is surprising that on the road to Tokyo Dome, Hiromu's on that card on one of the nights.
I think it's probably as a warm-up match.
Yeah, and but I think like he just got back, he has that ring rust, and like, again, that's going to help him with that. But what if he gets hurt or something?
That's pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Pro wrestling, man. I'm telling you, but I'm super excited to see Will Ospreay and Hiromu Takahashi.
Yeah. I just wouldn't risk it. I would just wait. Like maybe get the ring rust out.
I don't know, but I mean, if you think about it, man, like we don't know the extent of his neck injury, but it's been almost 2 years.
Yeah,
like a year and a half since he messed up his neck. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's gone through his.
Should be good,
I don't think doctors would clear him without, doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm super excited about to see that match. And then up next, a very important match for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship match for night one. Jay White against Tetsuya Naito in his second defense. Whoever wins this will take that belt and challenge for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship match, which is the main event or the first night, which will be Kazuchika Okada against Kota Ibushi. Now, mind you, the losers of both of these respective matches will have a special singles match the very next night. So who knows what's going to happen? The point is that somebody can lay claim that they've headlined the Tokyo Dome twice in one sitting.
Yeah. What are your choices for to win?
It's hard. Okay,
how about you, Arnold, in over there on Podbean Live? What are your thoughts on this?
Or anybody else's thoughts? If you guys have any thoughts, opinions, don't be shy. Curse us out if you want. But between Jay White and Naito, I think Naito. I think Naito's going to take the Intercontinental title. And then between Okada and Ibushi, I think Ibushi's going to take it.
Yeah. I mean, on the World Tag League, both of them had a lot of heel
moments between each other.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the fact that Okada at the end of the tag league, Okada and Ibushi had like a standoff, and then Okada kind of got in his face and put the belt up in his face, like, get out of my face, bitch. And then what does Ibushi do? Takes his briefcase and smacks the shit out of him.
Yeah.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that looked
bad.
That looked bad. And he's like, oh, damn. Like, and everyone's trying to stop Ibushi, and Ibushi just snapped and just started like stomping him out. And that's the one thing I love about Ibushi that I feel like Okada doesn't have. Ibushi has this intense, darker side to him. Like when he snaps, he loses his. At some point in a match, if you push him there, he'll go off on you. And he just went off on Okada, and Okada was just kind of reeling to the back, kind of half dazed. And
I would love an Ibushi heel turn. I mean,
hey, I just want
heel run.
A heel run would be cool. But I think people are excited to see someone kind of, I don't know, step up to Okada in a way since Omega, which is ironic because Ibushi is Omega's best friend.
Yeah.
Since Omega, really, that's somebody that's just like, oh, damn, like this guy's dangerous to Okada. And then, of course, the main event, for the second night, and I predict will be Tetsuya Naito against Kota Ibushi because we know that they both can kill each other. It's been about a year since they've wrestled. No. I lie. It's been a little under a year. It's been a while since they've wrestled.
Yeah, since the last time they were almost hurting their necks.
Yeah, exactly. I got scared. So I'm pretty sure that they're going to probably headline. I don't know.
Yeah, like Blue on Podbean says, he's going for Naito all the way since he's the one that started the talks of the double championship.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, you're right.
Yeah.
He absolutely started this, and then from there, for the second night, the opening match is Naoki Sano, excuse me, with Jushin Liger with Yoshiaki Fujiwara, the wrestler who created the Fujiwara armbar, mind you, against Ryu Lee, aka Dragon Lee, and Hiromu Takahashi, in what will be Liger's final match in a ring. Even someone joked with him saying, "Hey, maybe you could be the Japanese Terry Funk," where Terry Funk has had like 6 different retirements.
Yeah,
and Liger's like, "Don't make me into somebody else. I'm not going to do that." Like he got kind of annoyed that somebody would bring that up. Like, no, I'm not going to be the Japanese Terry Funk and retire like a bunch of times. Because I mean, how many goddamn times did Terry Funk retire? Like, yes, about like 4, 5, 6 times. And then, of course, in the second night, El Phantasmo and Taiji Ishimori versus Sho and Yo, who are the winners of the junior tag league earlier this year.
Yeah.
And they will be challenging against Bullet Club. I think this match is going to be entertaining as hell. Like I said, Sho and Yo have both improved immensely in the past year, not only as a tag team, but individually, especially Sho.
Yeah.
And I especially love that sequence that Sho and Phantasmo had last time that they wrestled. They just kind of just murdered each other. So I'm really excited to see this again.
Yeah, it's a good one. The only thing I don't like is on the World Tag League, the matches that they had to, like kind of show Okada and Ibushi, how they were fighting against each other and their story. Sho and Yo were next to Okada, or they were in the matches with Okada, and Sho and Yo were, of course, they made him lose against Ibushi. So I didn't like that because they just looked weak, and I don't think they should have done that for these two guys that are coming up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just disagree a little bit with that.
Perhaps.
Yeah. And then third match on night number 2 on January 5th, we got Zack Sabre Jr. versus Sonata.
Which I'm really excited to see Sonata's challenging for a singles belt.
Yeah. Oh, Blue on Podbean asking how we like the Ryu Lee name. I like it because of Ryu from Street Fighter. I don't know how you feel about the name change.
I mean, Ryu, it just means the same thing in
Dragon.
Japanese. It just means dragon.
Yeah. I think it's pretty cool. Let's see the fourth match on night 2. We got Juice Robinson against I think this is the one whoever wins, right?
Yes. Whoever wins the U.S. Championship match will face against Juice Robinson as the challenger. And I don't see why Juice Robinson's getting another shot. He lost both times. Which leads me to believe I think it's going to be him versus Moxley again.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to put it back on Juice Robinson.
Yeah.
Or maybe Lance Archer will win, and then Lance Archer will go over
Juice Robinson. I think Lance
Archer's
probably going to lose.
You think?
Yeah, since it was just like a last minute thing.
But the thing is, he's done a good job.
Yeah.
So I don't know. True. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I just don't see why Juice Robinson gets a shot. I think somebody else needs a shot.
Yeah. Because Lance Archer, when we saw him in the indie show here locally, I mean, he had the belt carrying the belt with him, and he was just showing it off. And like you said, he's doing good as a champion. So
exactly,
I would say leave him with it.
I agree. Yeah, let him keep it. And then, of course, after that, Kenta against Hiroki Goto, which in a lot of ways, there's been a lot of back and forth between those two, especially since Goto is one of Shibata's friends as well. Yeah. And I'm really excited to see that as well. I mean, maybe Shibata will be a part of that match as well.
Yeah.
But like I said, this rivalry has kind of been building up ever since Kenta turned on Shibata, and Goto was kind of like a representation of Shibata. Mm-hmm. Since the G1. So I'm really excited to see this match, and I'm glad to see Goto is back on the Wrestle Kingdom card and not on the pre-show.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you have a special singles match where basically whoever are the people who the two non-champions from the night before will face, and I think it'll be Okada against
Jay White.
Against Jay White. That's what I think.
Yeah. I think that would be a good culmination too of the whole year, kind of too.
Because Okada and Jay White have had a rivalry all year.
Yeah, so that would be a good one.
Exactly. And then, of course, a special singles match, Hiroshi Tanahashi against Chris Jericho. I'm excited to see that because, in my opinion, Painmaker, Which, in my opinion, like I said, Tanahashi has even said it himself. He's like, I never went on excursion. I never went on excursion. I didn't go to other companies to wrestle. I always was a New Japan guy. I have been a New Japan guy. I've wrestled here. And the fact that I'm going to wrestle someone as big as Chris Jericho now, I'm going to utilize this to show people what I'm made of. Because there's a lot of people who still aren't familiar with Japanese pro wrestling, let alone New Japan pro wrestling. Even though there's been a big increase in interest in the past couple of years since the Bullet Club debuted years ago, New Japan has been growing. But it definitely helps that you have a big name like Chris Jericho, who is a WWE legend, future Hall of Famer, for whatever that's worth, currently just on fire in AEW right now.
Yeah.
I'd be interested if he brought the belt with him. I don't think he will, but we'll have to wait and see. But I'm excited because this, in me, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Chris Jericho is very much another dream match scenario.
Yeah. And speaking of AEW, do you like Le Champion better or Painmaker Jericho?
I love Painmaker.
Yeah.
I love Painmaker. I love seeing I like seeing Chris Jericho brawl a little bit.
Yeah.
I dig it. And then, of course, the main event, the IWGP Heavyweight Champion against the Intercontinental Champion for double championship. Question, with them doing the double championship, do you think they're going to unify it?
I think they leave them separate, I think.
Leave them separate?
Yeah,
I sometimes feel like there's too many titles.
Yeah.
I don't know.
With all the Never championships.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I know people are going to disagree with me. I think leave these belts, unify them, elevate the U.S. title as a secondary title, elevate the Never Openweight Championship, and that's it.
Yeah.
Since you were in this situation. But I don't know. That's my opinion. It's a very unpopular opinion. I know a lot of people disagree with me about that as well. So
yeah, because you get into, like what are the people that are coming up? What are they gonna fight for or strive for? They're just gonna have matches until they get to the top, and a lot of people don't reach that top of the card. So see what happens with that. But yeah, man, I'm excited for this Wrestle Kingdom. It's gonna be awesome.
I am absolutely excited. I know some people say that it's lackluster. I don't think so. I think it's exciting. I think the fact that they're doing 2 nights in a row, I don't think this is going to be a trend. I think this is just a one-time deal.
Yeah, because you can have the New Year's Dash on January the 6th.
Yeah, usually the New Year's Dash takes place at Korakuen Hall. Yeah. But this time it's happening at the Ota City General Gymnasium, which is an arena this year, which means there's a higher demand for tickets. And, of course, this will also be the day. And it'll be 2 nights.
Yeah.
It'll be January 6th and 7th. And then I personally think that with Liger's retirement ceremony, who knows, maybe they'll shoot an angle there. Yeah. And also keep in mind that with Wrestle Kingdom now being here and then New Year's Dash coming around, we might even see 1 or 2 students of Excursion come back. Kawato is still out there.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
He's still in Mexico, doing great in Mexico.
Yeah.
But at some point, he will come back. I mean, he's been in Mexico now for what, a year and a half, 2 years?
For a while.
For a while. I mean, it could very well be his option to stay there, but...
No, I think now's the time for him to come back.
Yeah, because he's kind of on fire in Mexico right now. He's been doing very good. So who's to say? I mean, you might see some new faces. You might see some new angles. New Year's Dash is always interesting. It's very much like for American fans, the Raw after WrestleMania is always exciting to watch because new things are supposed to happen. Well, new things would technically happen on New Year's Dash leading up into New Beginning, which they've announced a New Beginning tour in the United States to coincide with the New Beginning tour that's happening in Japan at the same time. So I think now they're going to start aggressively expanding to where they're going to start touring like Tennessee and Memphis and Florida and kind of like the South. That's what they're going to start with smaller venues, which is a smart plan. It's a smart plan to go for your diehard fans and to expand the interest.
Yeah, because all the hardcore wrestlers, you'll grab them right away. You'll grab their attention right away. Exactly. They'll definitely fill up that little small venue. So that's a good idea.
Absolutely. So I'm really excited to see where New Japan takes us into the new year following Wrestle Kingdom. I'm just excited for Wrestle Kingdom.
Let's see, Blue, I had a question on there. He mentioned he thinks they should not unify the belts. That way it gives Naito closure on the belt. That's still his main event.
You know, that's a good
full circle.
I think that's actually a very good call. Yeah. Because like I said, at the end of the day, the Intercontinental title was the title that has kind of been haunting Naito for the better part of his career. So what better way for him to win it, unify it,
Yeah.
And then for him to decide, you know what? We don't need this title anymore. And that's it.
Mhm.
And Naito did it, on his own term. I think that's good call. That might be a good storyline.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see. But I'm excited to see what else happens, man. But I know there's a lot more crazy news going around. People are losing their minds these days. So we definitely need to talk about this.
Let's go to the news, man.
Absolutely, man. So let's see what's out there.
Let's see it.
All righty, man. All right, man. Woof. Wrestling. Anyway, man.
You sounded like what's his name that we just talked about earlier? Is it Super? What's his name?
Who?
The crazy guy on Twitter, that Instagram that does.
Oh, Superhuman.
Superhuman, yeah.
Yes.
Talking about crazy.
Let's talk about that for a second. Let's get the weird news out of the way. Speaking of Superhuman, apparently somebody out there in internet land has accused him of dropping the hard N-word.
Yeah.
And granted, there's no proof, there's no substantiated. Apparently, Superhuman has since made his Instagram account private, and has been kind of accused of, saying all kinds of bad stuff.
Yeah.
All I got to say is you got to be careful, people, of what you say out there. According to Superhuman, he says it's not true. I never said that. There is no proof. I didn't say anything. So hopefully that doesn't, derail him too much, But like I said,
it's crazy what happens online right now,
I know
especially like with ACH.
Absolutely. And the thing is, before we move on to ACH, the thing that I don't like about the internet is the fact that you could say something about anybody, and without proof.
Yeah.
The fact that you mention someone's name and say, "Oh, so and so did this," or "So and so said that," just the fact that someone mentioned your name, that immediately tarnishes your reputation before any proof comes out. Yeah. It's like the damage has been done to your name, and I think that's really unfortunate. That's the kind of society we live in. I mean, I don't care. I mean, people can say what they want. It's like, all right, if I said it, if I did it, prove it. And if I did, then I'll shut up and I'll apologize. But if I didn't, but the unfortunate thing is, even with that being said, I would still probably have some damage to my name. And that's unfortunate that we are living in a kind of society that has to deal with that, unfortunately. So hopefully Superhuman can kind of navigate through this. Whether or not he did it, I don't know. If he did, shame on him. If he did not, don't worry about it. Trolls are going to be trolls.
Yeah. And then trolls, I mean, somebody got ACH mad, trolling ACH, and got mad at him.
What exactly?
They were telling him somewhere along the lines that, why are you just complaining on everything? Just stop talking smack, and he just went back at him and said, I think Bidi Bidi Bom Bom, I think is right. Selena, and then you were just everybody got upset, thought there was just a
kind of a racist comment.
Yeah. So he just goes back and forth with going into different bad situations, man.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with ACH and him going forward. With the other thing too, with the blackface that he posted a photo of another wrestler with a blackface on.
Yeah. Basically, what had happened was Chad Gaspard. You remember Crime Time in WWE?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one member of Crime Time, Chad Gaspard. Chad Gaspard basically called him out, saying like, it's one thing that you're going through these difficult times, but it's another thing that that you go out there and you complain and you whine when people have been trying to help you. Basically, grow up and be a man. And then he basically apparently photoshopped a picture where he used that blackface smile on Chad Gaspard. Chad Gaspard said he's not going to respond to it. He's not going to even, acknowledge it. He just feels like, maybe ACH is going through some mental health issues. And it's been weird because the past couple of days, ACH has gone from quitting the pro wrestling business. He went from being signed to MLW, quitting the wrestling business days later, saying that fans ruined everything. And then he changes his Instagram handle to his real name. Then he puts out a weird post to admire Dasha Fuentes, or some announcer from NXT who's really pretty, but basically said like, this is my Woman Crush Wednesday, whatever. And then from there goes from how he posts something else on Instagram saying, 2020 is going to be my year. I don't know what to think. I mean, he just seems to be a rat. Perhaps he suffers from a bipolar disorder. I don't know. All I know is that when we saw him wrestle a couple of weeks ago, he seemed relieved to be back on the indies.
Yeah, he seems fine when we see him and talk to him, but like online, it's like a different person. I don't know. It's weird.
It absolutely is weird.
Something else that's weird, the release of Luke Harper and the Ascension.
The Ascension.
Sin Cara.
Yeah, absolutely. I know Luke Harper has been vying to get out of WWE at some point. So the fact that he finally got it, I'm excited. Granted, there is the 90-day no compete clause. So what? It's now what? December?
Yeah.
So what? January, February? He has to wait until March, and then he's available. And who knows where he'll show up? Whether it's AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, MLW, yeah, or maybe just kind of have some fun on the indies for a bit before figuring out his next big move. I think they lost out big time with Luke Harper. I think Luke Harper could have been a star. I have been saying that Luke Harper could be a star ever since he wrestled as Brody Lee on the indies in the first place, which since then he's trademarked. He's trademarked his name. So he was ready. He's always had an exit plan.
I think he had a photo with recently with Marty Scurll, right? Online on social media.
Yeah, and I think Marty Scurll even said Bullet Club ...
Yeah.
Or not Bullet
Villain
Enterprises, excuse me. And then of course Villain, he also even posted another picture where he was with Darby Allin and Priscilla Kelly. With also his other teammate from Villain Enterprises as well, Brody King. Said Villain Enterprises ... And it's like, man, he's just teasing. I think it's inevitable that also Marty Scurll will eventually end up in AEW, without a doubt, because I know both him and Brody King's contracts are almost up.
Yeah, they keep teasing it on being the Elite.
Absolutely. And then the other thing that's really interesting is the fact that Sin Cara has finally been released, which I'm pretty sure he would love to go back to Mexico.
Yeah, but
Maybe.
I don't know which direction he's gonna go. It seems like I think of to AAA. You can't use any of the names there. He's probably gonna have to start completely new, and which is gonna take him a while to get that over. You can't do that in CMLL for this probably same reasons.
For licensing.
Like I don't know which what you can do for that guy.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Unless he just goes on masks like his other gimmick he used to have.
Yeah,
and just do it that way. But
who knows? Or maybe he'll just use the same mask but call himself something different. That's how Caristico basically had to get rid of his name.
That's true.
Which, like I said, in my opinion, he kind of ruined his own career. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But then, and also, then you have the Ascension. The Ascension, if this was several years ago, they could have made a lot more money on the indies if they got released. But I didn't realize they were still around.
Yeah.
I thought they were cool in NXT. I thought that they had some potential. They kind of got buried, and then they
Really
eventually
bad.
got lost.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they had a look. I think if it would have done right, they could have gone somewhere, but they didn't.
Yeah. Now they can't really go anywhere too because in AEW they already have a lot of gimmicks that are like theirs.
Yeah, they have other tag teams that are doing way better with more name value.
Maybe Impact,
maybe MLW.
Yeah,
they'd have to change the name and everything. I just think that both Connor and Victor have kind of been put in a terrible situation where they can capitalize on the WWE status only so much, unfortunately.
Yeah. Other news that we have coming up. I know there was what's the name of the man? I'm gonna look it up before I mention it to you. Do you have any other news?
There's other news. Also, GCW has planned several charge to team up once again with Japanese deathmatch promotion called Freedom. That's also the home of Jun Kasai as well. They're going to be doing 3 different shows: The Art of War, Bad Behavior, and I don't remember the third show, but the point is that they are now doing 3 more shows in Japan sometime next year. And then, of course, Joey Janela's Spring Break is happening the month after that. So we'll see Joey Janela back in a Game Changer wrestling ring very, very soon, which is very, very exciting.
Yeah. I saw something about Joey Janela and Big Cass.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's something about that he was going to kill him?
Yeah, basically, Big Cass put out a text or put out a tweet saying that like if one more word comes out of your mouth about me, I will end your life.
Yeah.
And then deleted it since then. Joey Janela hasn't acknowledged it at all since. Like there's been no discussion. But for someone that's apparently trying to like get themselves mentally better, get counseling, I don't it seems like he's still having a lot of problems with his temper.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't take that lightly. The fact that you're threatening somebody online, you can't take that lightly these days.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just hope one day Big Cass gets the medication and attention that he needs because I don't think he's doing well. And then, of course, it also coincides with the fact that Enzo is still beefing with Tama Tonga from God.
Oh yeah. I like those interactions.
Oh, yeah. Personally, I mean, you got two people with two big mouths going off on each other. It's entertaining as hell. I personally think if Enzo ended up in the ring with Tama Tonga would eat him alive.
Yeah.
Like that. You'd probably shoot on him, honestly.
Yeah.
That's just what I think.
Oh, this is the one I was going to tell you about Brodus Clay. You remember Brodus Clay?
Yeah.
That he's being sued by Britt McHenry for sexual harassment. Like this is his co-host in I think a show called UnPC
on Fox.
On Fox, yeah.
Yeah.
So I never know. Do you ever like that guy?
No. Could care less.
He seemed like he was I don't know, a little weird, but
and I just know that he's very much a staunch conservative for sure.
Yeah.
You know. But another thing too, speaking of back in Japan, another cool thing to kind of go more in a positive direction.
Yeah.
All I gotta say is kids, well, before I go on, all I gotta say is kids, when it comes to sexual harassment, don't do it. Don't say nothing. It doesn't cost anything to keep your mouth shut. If it don't, like I said, you got to be careful nowadays. And I'm not saying be careful that, oh, men can't be men. No. I'm just saying that people need to be more responsible with their actions.
Yeah.
Stop acting. Men out there, I'm going to tell you this right now. We're going to go off on a tangent for a quick second before I move on. All you men out there, boys, whatever, don't go out there in this world thinking you're entitled to say and do what you want, because you know what? People don't ask for your attention. Your attention. I'm pretty sure Berkeley say like, damn, Ma, you looking good or something like that.
Yeah.
But no, and I don't think men should be even saying that. Don't say it. Unless you know that girl and she obviously wants your attention, then by all means. But other than that, then shut up. Like, stop harassing girls. But anyway.
Just watch out.
Just like I said, God, men are dumb. In this day and age, men are dumb.
Yeah.
Men are dumb. Anyway, that's another. Yeah, why don't you go there?
Table that.
Anyway, table that. 2019 Tokyo Sports Year-End Awards just happened yesterday, and I'm super stoked about it. So for this year in Tokyo Sports Year-End Awards for pro wrestling, the MVP is Kazuchika Okada in Japanese pro wrestling. The best match is Kazuchika Okada versus Sanada from King of Pro Wrestling. That was a damn good match.
Yeah. That was
like I said.
I love that one.
I love that.
I think we gave it how many? I can't remember how many stars we gave it, but we gave it a lot of stars.
Yeah, we said that they kind of rivaled against the Omega and Omega match. And then the best tag team is Suwama and Shuji Ishikawa from All Japan Pro Wrestling. Most outstanding performance, Kento Miyahara from All Japan Pro Wrestling, which, like I said, I'm very high on Kento Miyahara. I think he could very well be a star anywhere else if he chooses to, but we'll see.
Yeah.
The Fighting Spirit Award goes for Kaito Kiyomiya from Pro Wrestling Noah. Very talented, smaller guy. Best technique, Kota Ibushi, New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think when it comes to wrestling technique, you can't deny that Kota Ibushi is like a complete wrestler. Absolutely. 2019 Rookie of the Year, Strong Machine J out of Dragon Gate. And then Women MVP, Mayu Iwatani. I respect that.
Yeah.
I absolutely respect that. Absolutely. So those are the 2019 year-end awards for Tokyo Sports. I would love to go to that banquet. Because it's a banquet. It's a banquet and they have dinner or whatever, or lunch.
Have to go dressed up and everything.
Yeah, and then they announce all these awards and you see all these wrestlers there and stuff like that. But it would I think that would just be awesome.
Yeah. Who would you give the award for funniest of all the promotions? To Colt Cabana?
Yano. Probably Yano. Yeah, probably Yano.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or the Jurassic Express.
I love the Jurassic Express. Absolutely, man. But on that note, man, I mean, you got anything else for us, man, before we bounce out?
No, I think that's it for me.
Cool, man. I'll tell you what, man. Tell them where they can find us on social media one more time in case they don't know.
Yeah, on Facebook, you can find us on Tiger Driver Radio. We are also on Instagram under the same name, Tiger Driver Radio. On Twitter, we are on Tiger Driver Rad1. That's RAD1, the number 1. Or email us at tigerdriverradio@gmail.com. Oh, yeah.
Seriously,
Woo!
man. Anyhow, man, I know, okay, next week is what? The 18th, right?
Next week is the 18th, yeah.
Next week is the 18th. I will
show.
say that next week on the 18th might be the last show for the remainder of the year.
Yeah, because really all we have coming up for New Japan is Road to Tokyo Dome, and which is also next week, and that's it until Wrestle Kingdom. And see what we do for Wrestle Kingdom, man. Maybe we do. We're either debating on doing the live show or not. We're not sure, but see what comes up.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, we will be back here next week live and direct. We will be on time. We had some little technical difficulties. We were late by 1 minute.
Yeah.
We appreciate all you guys' support. Go listen to us on Podbean. Go listen to us on YouTube, Apple Music, Google Play. We are all over the place.
Yeah.
Spotify.
Yeah, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, all those places.
Exactly. Go listen to us. Spread the word. Let us know. Hit us up. And on that note, everyone, enjoy pro wrestling, and we'll see you guys next week.
Adios.